And you know what I'm about to ask you, which is why you're saying you sleep with the phone in the bed, correct?
Senor.
Sir, you were in the Marines before you were a police officer, correct?
Yes.
Did Michael Proctor come into your home at 34 Fairview on January 29th?
Yes.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with attorney Larry Forman. Folks, today we're going to continue with the testimony of Brian Albert from June of 2024, last year, trial number 1. Let's finish up his testimony. We have about 3 episodes remaining of Brian Albert, and that will catch us up with pretty much everything that has happened in trial number 1. Without further ado, let's go. Oh, and before I forget, if you have not checked out our members-only content, go check it out. Membership started at 99 cents for an intern, and so you can check out all of the content that we have under the paywall, and most of it is going to be Diddy at this juncture. And also, if you have not checked out our playlists, we have Brian Higgins, we have Trooper Proctor, we have Brian Albert, we have Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, Trooper Paul, and so many more, including Guarino and many others, in my playlist from trial number 1. So if you have not seen it, all that testimony is on lockdown from trial number 1. Go check it out in my playlist. Without further ado, Brian Albert, let's go.
Let's shift gears. You're aware that Brian Higgins has also gotten rid of his phone, correct?
I am not aware of that until after the time you're talking about.
So, without qualifying your answer, answer my question. As you sit here, you're aware that Brian Higgins has also gotten rid of his phone.
I know at some point Brian
Yes or no, Mr. Albert?
did he?
Objection, Your Honor.
Can you answer that, yes or no, sir?
Yes.
Now I'd like to shift gears and talk a little bit about Michael Proctor. Did Michael Proctor come into your home at 34 Fairview on January 29th?
Yes.
Michael Proctor? Let me rephrase the question. I want to make sure I'm not talking about Officer Lang, Officer Good.
Right.
Michael Proctor from the Massachusetts State Police. Did he come into your home on January 29th?
He conducted an interview with my wife, and I don't remember if it was the 29th or the 30th. That's what you're asking.
Wasn't that interview on February 3rd?
I feel like it was earlier than that, but it could have been February 3rd.
Okay. Presume for purposes of my question that it was February 3rd that Michael Proctor interviewed your wife. Then he would not have come into your home on the 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st, or the 2nd.
Right.
And you know from your training, obviously, as a first responder, the first 48 hours of an investigation are absolutely critical, correct?
Objection.
Do you know that, sir?
It's true.
In that context, I don't.
Next question.
I mean,
Really?
You're aware there's a TV show called First 48.
Objection, Your Honor.
Assistant.
Do you think the first 48 hours of a criminal investigation are critical?
Objection.
You do know that the longer you wait to properly investigate anything, the better chance that evidence can be manipulated or destroyed, right? You would agree with that.
Yes.
Did an investigator or any forensics team ever come into your house, ever, to photograph your entire home?
No, I wish they had.
Did an
I wish they
investigator-
had.
Yeah, me too.
Liar.
Objection, Your Honor.
To state.
Did an investigator or a forensics team ever come into your house to search for physical evidence?
No.
Did an investigator or a forensics team ever come into your house to search for trace evidence?
No.
Did an investigator or forensics team ever come into your house to take carpet samples, flooring samples from the basement, for instance?
No.
Of
And to
course
this
not,
day-
because they were covering for their buddies. Because if they had gone in and actually investigated inside of the house, they would have found evidence of John O'Keefe. His blood, his DNA, skin, maybe possibly even flesh. All of that was neglected intentionally and sabotaged because Proctor, the lead investigator, is buddies with the Alberts, and he was making sure that they don't get caught. He was complicit in the cover-up, along with everybody else in Canton.
You're aware that that's never happened.
Yes.
Sir, you were in the Marines before you were a police officer, correct?
Yes.
You're a combat veteran?
Yes.
How long were you in the Marine Corps?
4 years.
During the course of your Marine and military training, did you have any training in hand-to-hand combat?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Yes.
In addition to your Marine training on the subject, did you also receive additional training from the police department through the academy or otherwise on basic hand-to-hand combat?
No.
So that's not part of the academy?
Not hand-to-hand combat, no.
Fighting techniques, use of batons, things of that nature.
Defensive tactics.
Defensive tactics. Okay, that's fighting, right?
Well, it's not hand-to-hand combat, no.
Okay, fair enough. I may be using the wrong word. It's physical, it's training on how to either defend yourself or control another person physically.
Yes.
I mean, they're not going to send you out there on the streets completely ill-equipped. They need to know that you know how to defend yourself and how to put somebody in custody that doesn't want to be in custody, correct?
Yes.
And that might include fighting.
It could, yes.
And beyond your Marine training and your police training, you're independently trained in techniques of fighting.
Have I boxed before? Yes.
Okay. And you've trained in boxing. It's not like you just walk up and smack a heavy bag, right?
You'd have to rephrase it.
You've trained. You're a trained boxer. You're a trained fighter.
I've boxed in the past, and I've trained to box, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've hit a heavy bag,
Right.
but I'm not a trained fighter. You're a trained fighter.
All right, so there's an objection. You were standing, Mr. Lally.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jurors, disregard that. Mr. Jackson, no comments, just questions, please.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, your boxing skills were featured in a TV show that you were featured in as well, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
No.
You were, in fact, no?
That they were featured in a show? No.
You were never shown on TV in a ring sparring with somebody?
I may have been shown training, but I don't think I was having a boxing match. No.
Okay, I wasn't suggesting that you were having like a paper. I was asking, is there a TV show that ever showed you in a ring boxing?
Well, that's not what you asked me, but if you're asking me that now, yes.
I'm asking you that now. I apologize. My questions are somewhat inartful.
Yes.
You understand the question now?
Yes.
And you have been shown, I use the word featured, you've been shown on television in a boxing ring,
Yes.
sparring.
I haven't seen the video in a while. I'm not sure if I was sparring.
If we can, Your Honor, with the court's permission, can we take a look at Exhibit 53?
Okay.
There's a clip starting at it's time of day 11:47 and 15 seconds to 11:48 and 35 seconds, maybe a minute and a half. Can you enhance that?
An hour before John's murder by the Bryans. This is very important.
Do you see the two men in the foreground?
Yes.
Who are those two men?
Looks like myself and Brian Higgins.
Does it look like yourself and Brian Higgins, or is that yourself and Brian Higgins?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Would you go ahead and play that?
That fighting stance by both of them. So unequivocal. Can't hide from the truth, Brian. Why would you practice play fighting an hour before you kill someone? Unless you were practicing for it. And just trying to make it look innocuous. Thinking this will never end up in evidence. I mean, look at it. It's so obvious what they're doing. This was literally, John will have been murdered less than an hour after this by these two people. It's just so terrifying to think about.
I've got one more clip to play, but I have a couple of questions, Your Honor. Would you,
Let's take it down and you can put the other one up after the questions.
Did you see what was displayed on that video?
Yes.
Had you seen that before?
Part of it, yes.
Is that what you and Mr. Lally went over in your preparation for your testimony?
I don't think that we went over it, but he showed me a quick clip of it.
When you say he showed you a quick look, did he ask you questions about it?
I don't think so, no.
Did you give him any answers about it?
No.
Any explanations?
No, just,
He just showed you the clip and...
yeah, he just said, yeah, it looks like we were fooling around.
Okay, so you did make an explanation. You've given him
Yeah,
an explanation for it.
right, I said I think we were just fooling around.
Okay, which is the same thing you told us this morning, right?
Right.
Just fooling around.
Yeah, just having fun with my friends and hanging out and fooling around.
Absolutely. What were you doing? Describe what you were doing.
Having fun with my friends, hanging out, just being silly.
Okay. Describe physically what you were doing in the video.
Did you see that hard swallow?
I was-
He's dodging the question because he's like, he doesn't want to say, like, yeah, I was taking a fighting stance and we're practicing fighting. That's what he's supposed to say, but the hard swallow, if you caught it, go back if you missed it.
Was playing around, sort of getting in a boxing stance.
Boxing
Otherwise
stance.
known as a fighting stance, correct?
Yeah, for a second, yes.
Okay. And what did Brian Higgins do when you got into a fighting stance?
It looked like he was kind of doing the same thing.
Got
We
into
just,
a fighting stance as well, correct?
yeah.
What were you two talking about? You can tell you're talking, right?
Yeah, I don't know what we were talking about. We were just being silly, fooling around, having fun.
Were you giving him advice on the proper way to get into a fighting stance or a boxing stance?
No.
You giving him some advice or some indicators about how to best position himself if someone is taking an aggressive stance against him?
No. No.
Is he telling you what he thought was a good technique for fighting or boxing?
I don't think it was that serious. We were just playing, fooling around.
But both of you were in fighting stances facing off against each other, correct?
Yeah, for a second or two.
And Mr. Higgins, you saw him bob his head and then start walking toward you like a boxer might, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
And then you got down, pulled your pant legs up, and you squatted down to indicate getting low, having low center of gravity, correct?
That's indicating being silly.
Okay.
That's
and then
not.
at some point, while you're being silly, you then faked a right punch toward him, correct?
I didn't notice that, but I'm not sure.
Can we take a look at the next part of this clip, which is at time of day 11:55 and 51 seconds.
This is
I'm
so
sorry,
good.
11:54 and 52 seconds. And highlight it. Okay, there's several individuals crowded around a table. Can you describe where you are and where Mr. Higgins is?
Brian Higgins is the guy on the right with the hooded sweatshirt and the emblem on the back. I have a pointer. Do you want me to use it?
That'd be great. That'd be great.
So that's Brian Higgins, and that's me.
Okay, go ahead and play this. Pause. Did you see what you just did?
Yes.
What'd you do when you slapped his right arm?
What did I do?
What did you do? What are you doing?
It looks like I'm just being silly, fooling around.
Okay, I'm going to ask you for a little bit more.
That's
physical
one way to put it.
description. What are you doing? Why are you grabbing him from behind?
I don't really know.
Why are you grabbing him from behind, Mr. Brian Albert?
Wrestling hold?
No,
Is
I
that
don't think so.
control hold?
No, I don't think so.
Is that some sort of a control hold that you've used in the past?
Bear hugging somebody? No. That's just a silly fooling around with my buddy.
Let's go ahead and play this. Stop it. Do you see what Mr. Higgins just did?
I did, yeah.
When you let him go, what did he do?
I don't know. He did some kind of, I don't know, he pretended to knee me or something.
Knee to the abdomen?
Yeah, I don't know if he made contact or not, but
Mr. Albert, I'm not suggesting by my questions that you two are actually in a fight.
right.
I'm asking what he's doing. Does it seem to
Yeah, I don't,
you that he's playing like or practicing like techniques in fighting?
I don't know what his intent was. It looks like he's just fooling around, just like I was.
But if a grown man walks up to you, grabs you from behind, and puts a knee up to your solar plexus, that's probably not the same as a high five, right?
What is your question?
In other words, it looks like he's practicing some sort of fighting technique.
Practicing? That's not how I see that.
How would you describe it?
I would just describe it as him fooling around. We're in the bar together. We're good friends, and we're just being silly and fooling. That's all.
There's a number of people in that bar. You would agree with that?
Yes.
You see anybody else in that video at any time getting physical with one another?
Objection.
But why?
How much of this video have you actually watched?
Not much.
Okay, then let me ask a different question. From your memory of that night, who are the only two people in the bar that seem to be getting physical with one another?
Objection.
Can you answer that?
Sure. The only person I remember being physical with was fooling around with Brian.
Okay, play it just a little bit longer. We're almost finished. Did you see the rest of that video?
Yes.
No question that you two are being friendly with one another, correct?
Yes.
You would agree with that?
Yes.
But there's also no question that of all the people in that bar, the only two people that appear to be imitating fighting are you and Mr. Higgins, correct?
In that video, yes.
And, is there another video?
Well, no, I just don't know what everybody else was doing in the bar.
Do you remember anybody else? You know, Julie Albert or
I don't remember.
Nicole getting into a scrap with someone?
No.
No, it's just you two, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Albert, this is minutes before everybody headed to your house at 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes.
Including John O'Keefe.
Yes.
Going back to the morning of January 29th, everyone had left your location. This is after you had already arrived, had a couple of beers, people started leaving. Everybody was gone from your location at about 1:45 a.m., maybe a little thereafter.
That seems right.
Caitlin being the last person to leave.
I believe so, yes.
What did you do to get ready for bed, to settle in?
I went upstairs and just lied in bed. The TV was on. I was just kind of watching TV.
Lied in bed or laid in bed? Subconscious is always making its own little jokes. Somebody pointed out in a recent video of Welcher, the $325,000 bribe that was paid to Aperture. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It is so good. And I'm not just saying it because I'm biased, because I made it. I'm being serious. It's a really, really good video. It has a lot of things in it that show the weakness of the government's case. Mr. Welcher, a few people pointed out, made a comment that he has no dog in this fight. And somebody commented, they were like, this is very telling. No dog in the fight. Like, choice of words. Why did he choose those words? He doesn't have a dog in this fight. Because there was a dog in the fight with John O'Keefe. I don't know. It's really a bizarre choice of language that he testified to. I forgot to point that out because I didn't even catch it. You guys caught it. So now I'm letting you know that your comments are not going unnoticed by all means. So don't forget to like this video, comment below if you have any questions, and so on, and I'll read them later. And subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we make new videos. This trial is coming to a close, folks. This trial is coming to a close, and I'm here for it. I can't wait to see what the jury's going to say.
You have a nightstand?
I do.
Is it on your side of the bed or Nicole's, or you have one on each?
We may have had one on each in that house.
Put your phone on your nightstand?
No.
Where'd you put your phone?
The phone was in bed with me.
So your testimony is that you get in bed after being on a road trip all day long, then at restaurants, and at bars, then at a get-together at your house, and when you go to bed, you don't charge your phone?
No. I had the phone in the bed with me.
Why would you have the phone in the bed?
We have 5 kids, and, you know, if somebody was trying to call or if I needed to reach them, it's just kind of a habit I do. I put my reading glasses and my phone in bed with me.
And you don't charge it?
Sometimes I charge it, but not as a routine, no.
So you're worried about having your kids out. They might need to get a hold of dad, so you make sure that your phone is nice and close, but it can just run out of batteries?
Well, if it's dying, then I'll put it in the charger, but if not, I just leave it on the bed.
Well, what about that night?
That night, the phone was on the bed.
How do you know?
Well, I remember the phone being on the bed.
You have a specific recollection from 2.5 years ago about the state of the battery charge on your phone such that you know it was in your bed that night.
No, I just know as a routine, I keep my phone in the bed with me.
That's not what you just said.
Yeah.
You just said it depends on whether or not the battery needs to be charged. It's whether or not you charge it.
My answer is that sometimes I, of course, charge my battery,
Of course you have.
but I sleep with the phone in my bed.
Every single night?
Yes, mostly every night.
I thought you just said 4 questions ago, it depends on whether or not the phone needs to be charged. Sometimes you keep it in the bed, sometimes you put it on the charger.
If the phone needs to be charged, I charge it, but I sleep in bed with my phone.
Mr. Albert, did your phone need to be charged that night?
I don't remember if it did, but I slept in bed with the phone.
You've been on a road trip most of the day, correct?
Yes.
You've been out at bars that night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
You weren't charging your phone. We just saw the video. You weren't charging your phone at the bar.
Right.
So when you got home, clearly put your phone on a charger, didn't you?
But I did not.
So if your kids needed to get a hold of you, why would the phone being in your bed be any assistance to you instead of just on the charger at the nightstand?
That's just what I've always done. I just keep it in my bed. My wife does the same thing.
So now you've got 2 phones in the bed.
Yes.
Okay. And your glasses.
Yes.
Right between the 2 of you.
Yes.
Got it. Your phone have a ringer on it?
It does.
Ever thought about maybe turning the ringer on just in case the kids need to get a hold of you?
Sometimes it's on vibrate. Sometimes it's on ring. It depends.
Yeah. Depends on you. You just put it on ringer. Wouldn't that make more sense to go to bed, put it on ringer?
Objection.
Can you answer that?
All I can answer is that I sleep with my phone in my bed. That's just what I do.
And you know what I'm about to ask you. Which is why you're saying you sleep with the phone in the bed, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
That's sustained.
You're going to have to find out what Jackson asks Brian Albert in the next episode. Bye, everybody.